Hello and welcome back, I'm People Joe, and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Where are we? This is Season X. We are back to fix it. So good to see you. Yes, we know Season 11 is done for reasons. We have a little bit of time. We're going to use this time productively, potentially. This is at the end of the series. This is at the beginning of the 20-year run. I think the series ended in 2046 and nothing worked at that point. And we are here. We are in 2044, as you can probably tell by the numbers that you see on the screen right now. So what are we going to do? I know that this save is savable. It looks like we have money, but really don't have money, so don't get distracted by those things. We just have to diagnose better, and we actually have to figure out all the things that we have to do to make this work. We do know that this thing over here will make us a little bit of money. It is making us a little bit of money. I'm sure it's already sitting here, so everything's kind of set up, and we are semi-full on people already in at least a few places, not all of them, but that's okay. We can just fill that up as we need to, and that garbage container is overflowing, so that's not super helpful. Which was this a problem where we had a bunch of places not able to walk to places for certain reasons at all whatsoever? Really don't fully remember all the things that were happening here, but that wasn't good. I don't think our trash is our biggest problem though, so that is something that we just have to identify, diagnose, and go down a little bit and figure out the things left and right. Technical service, how about you help with trashing things just a little bit? Not that one, but this one. Copy the same things over here and then get a couple large and a couple small container trucks organized, and we should be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They should do what they're supposed to do. A little bit of money. We have some money. Why not? Okay. What is the biggest problem? That is something I want to find out with you. I don't want to just jump into here because there so many things go on in this Republic. It's been a month and a half since I played it. It's probably been a month and a half since you potentially watched it, unless you're in the playlist, and thank you for watching for the playlist. Much appreciated. But we have to figure out where we actually have to start the fixing. Where is our biggest problem? And there are several places that we can go. We clearly have a little bit of dollars sitting here. We could turn that into ruble very quickly, but let's look at what our current problem is. Our current problem is we own 1.2 billion, so we have to make money yesterday. This makes a cute little sum. I think it will produce a little bit of money here and there, and that's all fine. And if I unpause, I can actually see that this is all full of bauxite. And the alumina plant is producing things, so let's leave this alone for the time being. The line west over here is producing some stuff out there. That is all neat. When we look over here, we're not producing a lot of steel right now. So one chance that we could look into, that question mark over here is the ship that's run on the ground, because reasons. There is a potential that we just need to up the number of workers that we have in the steel mill sitting here, and honestly, there's not that much we have to do here. All we really have to do is plop a city down here, hook it up into the supply lines that we have sitting there, and now we can produce more steel. Is that going to solve all our issues? Well, that is the big question here, because not producing enough steel is only one of the problems that we have to face, but we do have to max this out at 100%, and we can potentially even do it with just buses. I don't know that we need to do anything fancy at all, because we have, what do we have? Yeah, there's an underground line here. So all we need is bring a bus right there, or even just bring a bus in here somewhere in this area, and we may be able to transport everyone to everywhere where we want them to go. If we look at footpaths, there may be some other options too. Thank you, autosave. That took a lot longer than I expected. Yeah, we can probably just bring a bus down here. There's already a little bit of room, and just connect into that side and this side, and then we have that part taken care of. That would be lovely, but again, this is just one of the things that we need to do, and we still have to figure out how to even get a bus in here, or whatever else we want to connect to this. So, I do know Steel is a problem. Okay, let's look at a couple other things, because this is what you should do when you try to diagnose whatever is happening in your republic, which is a good place to start as always. Who's angry with me? Angry with me is this building. Reconstruction in progress, no kindergartens, no sports, no food. Okay, you have a food problem. If you have a food problem, that translates to you cannot make it to where you get food. Okay. Is this a problem? Yes. Yes, this is a problem. Why? Because this is a partial, this is part of the city. The city over here is currently trying to do what it's supposed to do, and the people that are here either cannot get to the railway station when they need to, even though I feel that this one should have enough capacity to handle them, but there's a lot of trains going through here in and out all the time, so there's a good potential chance that that is just not enough. There's also a chance to just not have enough materials or food available for all of these guys when they want something. And there's someone already sitting in front, but that shouldn't really be a problem. So something that is always helpful is grab a couple of these that are already on free time and just picking all the ones that aren't workers or workers with higher education, and see where they're currently hanging out. You're hanging out all the way out here. Where are you going? You are on free time, and you are currently demanding food and sport. We found a problem. we found a actual problem. There's no reason for you to get on this train. Why is that a problem? The problem is that this platform is a transfer platform. Okay, it's currently heading to Mechanical Commons Passenger, but because this is a transfer platform, they cycle. They cycle here, so they pick up there and drop off there, which means they go here and then go all the way back to here just to, well, eventually they can transfer people again in this station. And I know that was something that I changed not a little while ago, and that's not helping. So let's fix that. It is fixed now. No, you're doing it in the wrong place. Okay. What I was saying is it is fixed now. Past here, I will only take people with education, nobody else. Unload everyone that you want, but nobody without education should go on the train here. I had no idea this was a thing. This is why I want to look at this together with you to see what else we can find. This one shouldn't have the same problem. It also doesn't have any workers on board right now, but that should already help us a little bit. Okay, let's go look at a couple other victims. Where are you going? Are you also on a train? Yes, you're on a train. That's not helpful. Where are you going? You're also on a train. That's amazing. And then you are also, no, you're all the way out here. You're more interesting then, because you are heading to food, culture, and meat. You're heading down this way, so there's a little bit of culture going on here. That is great. Yes, we have a frame rate show that is excellent. So let's just see what happens here. The train navigation system, I don't know that I'm going to work that over right now, but we'll just see what happens. Okay, these guys. There's a lot of time being spent here. Okay, keep that in mind. And wait time on platform, as you can see, is running a lot slower than the free time over here, which is not great, but part of that has to do with the happiness. The lower your happiness, the faster your time goes by. And now this person, Eleonora, let's go with that. Eleonora, okay, just has barely 4 hours to complete all the other demands, and hopefully heading to this shopping center, there's space available for them to do what they want to do. But as you can see, there's not a ton of time left for them to do what they want, but at least using a shopping center that can generally fulfill multiple demands at the same time. The 143% means what, people, Joe? It means that the day before there was a high likelihood of them having to go around and around to on a train, effectively. They were traveling. They were traveling for extended periods of time, and because of that, they had a higher demand. They effectively, if they travel for 2 days, they will have 2 days of demand. Hope that makes sense. So they go up to 200%. Now, does this mean that they didn't satisfy all of what they wanted? I think they're okay. But yeah, just that small change with the train should help these guys figure out what they need to do. These friends over here are affected by the exact same problem. So I think we actually just solved one rather large problem, because all of these people If you are, okay, workers without a job, got it. No kindergartens, that one we have to address. There are some kindergartens available here, but maybe it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be a bad idea to just add a couple more kindergartens in the area to get everyone taken care of, because no kindergartens, no kindergartens, no kindergartens. It's just like 4 and 5 of them, but it's enough where I'm just feeling like, hey, kindergarten, if that's all you're really looking for, we may as well throw that in there and make sure that you have everything that you need. Also, I feel that we already placed a kindergarten in this exact position a long time ago, but it is what it is, so we'll be fine. No idea what the construction office over here is. It's construction office group 2. Wonderful. Let's get that one assigned. And yes, there's a little bit of rebuilding that needs to happen. A little bit. It's a lot of bit of rebuilding that has to happen. Let's get a couple things assigned over here. Footpath. At least one of the footpaths should be built as well, and then the mechanical components factory can also get rebuilt. Just playing with the priorities a little bit to make sure that they actually get that done, hopefully. Okay, that should actually help. This should actually help a lot produce more steel, and if we produce more steel, we import less steel, which then means we get more money for our vehicles, and that's good. The view is doing fine, 75 and 80%, 80%, 70%, all of those guys are doing what they're supposed to do. That looks good. How full are we with things over here? We have iron sitting, great. We potentially even have iron sitting out here. Nope, we don't have iron sitting out here, but we have 2 ships trying to move some stuff around. What are you waiting for? You are load anything. Okay, anything that goes in here, but we clearly don't have anything for you to move. Okay, keep that in mind. It also appears that we don't have any gravel going through here. Interesting. There's 2,000 tons of gravel sitting there, but it's really been eaten up by the cement plant and by the prefab panels factory. Okay. I am okay with that. Yeah, the output here is still working. Where are the different outputs here? These outputs are also still working, and then both of you are just kind of feeding. Oh, this conveyor engine burnt down. Interesting. Okay. Who can I... Like, all I really have to do is continue construction, and then they should get assigned to some construction offices. Very cool. I had no idea. But at least happiness here is not terrible, so... Let's continue looking at a couple other things. Yeah, there are a couple of people working right here next to the power plant. Well, we'll just continue doing that. I think they deserve being there. Yeah, magically. 57% happiness. That's not great. We have a food shortage. Okay, let's see what we can solve there. There's no food here. Great. Is this an indicator of normally whoever is bringing food down here, and there's a city supply right there. Okay, you are sitting over here. Got it. You're supposed to load anything from there. Where else do you load stuff from? Here, that's just waste. Here, that is rare construction office. Okay, why do you load from there? Oh, you load trash from there, waste from there. Got it. Big transfer. Cool. I don't see a thing, a single thing, that indicates they can get food from somewhere else. Okay. Did we move the food transport to a different place? Yes. Yes, we did. The food transfer is now sitting over here. Okay. With that in mind, and I never did this, obviously, we have to get food from down here. How much food is there? 524 tons, which is 1 full warehouse. That should take care of things, and honestly, everything else that you need to produce anything, you can also get it from there. I don't care about your percentage, but I'm expecting trucks to start moving. There you go, and you're probably going to get food. Great. Wouldn't be surprised if another truck also goes out and gets some food. Cool. So, the view, magically, should get happiness back. That should also help. There are too many ships sitting over here right now. Okay, let's just save that fuel and make you go over there. And because we can make some money, we're going to send you out and do the thing. Have we addressed any big problems yet? Absolutely not. We are trying to get back into the rhythm of understanding what our actual problems are, and then we're going to get into solving them. So Don't worry. Luckily, we haven't spent much money on construction yet, so that is actually a good thing. Over here, the vehicle production line seems to be relatively happy, mostly overall, besides these buildings out here. Nobody lives here. We may be able to allow a couple more people to move in there because we do have some happiness happening here. But people without food, is that a function of bus traffic or is that a function of unavailability? It feels like it's a function of bus traffic. I think that's just the way it is, and we're just going to leave that alone. Some of these are getting repaired. That is fine. We are mostly producing beetles. Let's see what actual production is. Beetle there, beetle there. The garbage truck. This is like the island vehicle production. Okay, another beetle here. Normal vehicles, another beetle production, and this one. So there's a lot of vehicles that are potentially going to get exported here, which is a good thing. But as long as we don't have our own steel or not enough of it, that's probably not going to be enough. This is the last city I think we have to look at. And this city, the coal city, is obviously not doing so hot. What's the problem? We have crime. Fewer sellers than required. This city's just effectively almost dead. Okay, I didn't realize that was a thing. When did you die? What happened here? Let's see. The warehouse. The warehouse is fine. The forklifts seem to be thinking that they're okay. This one is all full. Maybe there was a temporary shortage of things. Alright, well, these are clearly not doing so well, so we need to do a little bit. 390,000. You know how many millions that is? That is quite redonkulous. Okay, I cannot afford filling that up with citizens that I have. So what I'm going to do instead is actually use a couple of these buildings that we know are not doing so hot because of where they are. And then one of the Nurple flats to also resettle out here. And we should be getting, we should be getting several citizens back from our research, so that should help. But these should keep the coal production up and running. You may see that the happiness goes down a little bit. They do get a happiness, not a nerf, but happiness does go down when you move citizens, so don't move them unless you absolutely have to. Do we have to? I think so. I think this should help. So yes, get these guys up. Is the goal to actually fix Season X and continue? Continue? No. I have other plans, and there are other things hopefully in the works that I can restart the early access DLC in a different attempt. But it is my hope that I can actually save Season X. I'm not 100% sure that I can. I'm not 100% sure that I cannot. But there's only one way to find out what actually happens. You are a not insignificant distribution office. And this one, because I don't think I saw a fire notification, is probably more related to maintenance than anything else, which makes me then think, what's your maintenance status over here? There's a lot of coal that you have sitting there for export. That's never going to happen again. Wear and tear 11%. No, wear and tear was probably not it. So it may have been a fire problem out here. Interesting. Very interesting. We have a bunch of buses that want to come out here that want to get repaired. But we don't have workers. Oh, that's not helpful. We need workers out here, otherwise this is not going to work. Okay, we don't have workers because we don't have enough people living in this area, which also could translate to that could have been a fire and we just lost a couple people. But that one is hard to know for sure. But looks like we at least have a couple people sitting here, so that should be all okay. Dump truck. Do we really not have a replacement vehicle for you? If I do this and click on that. We may not. We may not have a replacement vehicle for the dump truck. Interesting. We should be seeing one relatively soon. But this is not ideal that you're sitting there. We did have a little bit of money earlier, but as you can see now, we really don't have that much sitting there, so that's a little concerning. But we are exporting prefab, so there's a tiny bit of money coming in. Oh, that's cute. Bricks and boards, yeah, none of that is really useful for import, export, or anything like that, so don't pay too much attention to it. Okay, so we have potentially increased our steel production already. It doesn't take a lot to get people happier, although this one says 21% now. I think it was a little higher when we started, but there is that. Looks like this guy got done with a couple of things. That's good to see. Let's talk to our construction offices. The repairs are still not done. Just give this one a little bit of time and see if we can recover fully with what we're hoping for there. Actually, let's do this. If we click on a couple more random people. How are you doing? You are free time 14 hours. Okay, and you are now walking a bad... Where are you walking to? You're going now to the state... You're still going on a train. Okay. This is not what I wanted to see, but what are you doing? What? I see. This line is still picking up passengers from that location, which we don't want. So, Lauren. Okay, I may have done this wrong. Got it. I didn't fix it. I broke it more. Yes. That makes sense. Lauren is number 3. Lauren is out here, and that is a transfer that we actually needed the way that it was. All of these things back on tours, we don't care. The line central station is the one where we don't want to carry anyone out the other direction. Do you want to switch the workers around here? Not sure. But now it should actually help, not the way that I had it before. When will people actually get on the train here? If they're waiting at the station and the train comes by and there's room on the train, they will get on the train because they're set to transfer, regardless of if there's room anywhere in any of the shopping centers or not. So that is the problem, and hopefully that will go away eventually. If we look at a couple more people, there's your 16, 16, and 15. You're traveling in vehicle. Yeah, you're already lost. We don't want to talk to you. You're waiting on platform. That sounds fine, but nobody should hopefully pick you up. In which case, that would be nice. Where did you get 12% of food from? 12%? I mean, come on. Oh, that looks better. Prey is an attraction that can be replaced by several different things. Let's see where you're heading. Where is it? Walking to here. So it's praying. Is there a long line here? There is a long line there, but there you go. Praying is replaced with attraction, in case you were curious, and they don't have enough time to get 100% full, so that could be an indicator of we need another attraction item. Maybe, potentially. 899,000 in the bank. We spent a lot of money. Okay. 899,000? Why would I say that? It's clearly 8.9 million. The people have what they need, hopefully now, to continue doing what I needed them to do. So those are all positives. How much money do you have stored already? You have 71 million. Yeah, we'll take that. Absolutely. You just get out of here. Make me a little bit of money. It shouldn't take super long. We have another one sitting here. You have a potential of having another 87 million. That's good. What I've done so far is not fix. It is trying to catch up to what we need to do to actually fix something. And we have food here. That is a good thing. I should probably decrease you a little bit. There you go, just a few tons. So we have more room for more food trucks to deliver stuff out here. I would be expecting to see the next food truck actually come in here already, although it's getting tight. Where are you? You better be my food truck. No, your clothing truck. You're not helpful. Okay, you also have too many clothes on board because I just moved this stuff around. That is not a food truck. Come on, there should be another food truck coming this way. There you go. This guy. Nope. That's a bus. Really? That's a bus. Darn it. Someone should have some food on board. Do you have food for me? Nope, you have mechanical components. Oh, but we have a warehouse. It doesn't matter as long as we have so much food sitting here just to get it pushed over, you either need idle sellers, or you need a forklift. But I don't think I want to build a forklift there right now. So luckily we do have still enough food sitting here. So cool. Nothing to fix here. They should all be happy. With higher happiness, we should get more productivity. Okay. Shop is out of goods. Not good. Look at that. We are over here. Very interesting. You are out of food. Okay. This doesn't look familiar. What happened here? Oh, I believe you are out of food because we don't have a storage for food implemented here. So where is my meat? No, we do have a storage for food implemented. You're just fine. So you're just overloaded. Okay. So we cannot fill you up anymore, but we have a couple people from this side probably crawling over here and overrunning our shopping center now, which is not ideal because I actually want you to go to this side. But we can't do that because when they get education or kindergarten of sorts set up, they will just flock to the other side, and that's the way it is. Unless, do we have the other things figured out? Hospital problem. Okay, garbage container is still overfilled. You gotta be kidding me. Don't we have vehicles here? Yes, we have vehicles here. They cannot reach there. Okay, if I increase this, they can still not reach there. My problem is I don't know which footpath is broken. Because they say they can go through there. And they can reach a couple things, but then that one cannot reach a shopping center on this side, which I don't quite buy. But if you say that that is the case, and I guess that is the case, there's no quick footpath direction or connection I can throw in here. However, I do have a quick footpath that can go this way. Yes, it's a cheap footpath, but now we have a connection to that thing, which is really what I cared about. So let them go. That still doesn't explain why we do not have... Now! Okay, now they're highlighted in green. The trash containers over there, and it looks like they're going all the way around to make that work. You know what that tells me, kind of? I think this footpath is not actually footpath. There's also no crossing, like indicator on the road that there's a footpath crossing there. So here's what we're gonna do. Maybe? There we go. If we add this, maybe that is enough to get that footpath connection back. And we are out of food. So let's make sure that that actually, not out of food, but out of money. Let's make sure that that comes back. 1.2 million, okay. There's no reason to take anything less than 2 million because we are in a situation where a ship will just take a boatload of all that stuff. And we have to actually afford that. And the 2 ships that I send out should be getting to the border relatively soon to make us a little bit of money there. So that should be good. But for right now, we're just stuck in this cycle for a little longer, and that's okay. All right. Waste is fine. I think what I would like to concentrate on is getting these all the way up into a higher... Is there a steel vehicle sitting somewhere that's making this a little more complicated? Let's make it 25 million. Sure. I don't know. We will not fix this by clicking the more loan button. We will not. What is a good transfer? I could buy a bunch of vehicles on the NATO side and then just use my big container ship to transport them to the other side. You know what? That's probably not a dumb idea right now because we do need money, so let's make that happen. First I have to collapse this, then I have to click on the NATO side. Very good. Let's let this run forward. Purchase new vehicles. It really doesn't matter what we need. Just continuously the small ones, the personal cars that we've been doing for so long. Sure, but do a different one. No problem. Yeah, we're just going to transfer this. So I'm going to take as many as it lets me build. Purchase. I don't care how many it is. And then I'm going to send a ship out to pick all of them up. This is going to take forever if you're going to do it that way. Okay, let's take something that's a little bigger, like the big bulldozer. 1.5 million. There you go. That can actually make a little bit of damage here. And then, yeah, the big container ship that we have should turn that into rubles relatively soon. We have nothing that we pay NATO money for, so I feel pretty okay doing it this way. Thank you, Autosave. I actually feel really good about this. I'm pretty sure this will make us some money. Like, a really good amount of money, and none of these are touched yet, so they're in pristine condition, which means they should make us quite a good sum. Okay, leave 10 million for what? I don't know yet, but that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna tell you, sir, no longer be on a line. Very good. I want you to go to the western border. At the western border, I want you to load all the vehicles that you can, take them to the other border and unload from there. Actually, over here, you want to unload, and then at the eastern border, you want... this is all wrong. Unload, load, vehicles. Thank you. Not that one. Anything you want. Don't care. Go. Make me money. Let my ATM run. Cool. That should give us a little bit of money to at least move things around left and right for a little while, and maybe even get started on that extra steel production zone. Okay, before we fully commit into this, there's a little more science that goes into this. Let's look at economy and trade over probably the last year. And look at our import. What was our biggest import? If we look at the amount, steel. Yes, so if we reduce that, we can get everything else kind of moving. Electronics are still really high, but if we can move, get rid of the steel problem, we should be fine. This one has gone up. This was at 19%. Now it's not at 19%, so it's doing something right. You guys, is anyone helping you? Are you actually getting anything done? Not really. The kindergarten is still set on higher priority, but nothing is really being assigned here. So let's see. Assign, reconstruction mode. Yeah, they're all kind of supposed to do something, but what is your problem? Your problem is no mechanical components, no prefab panels. Okay. Is that what's missing in most of the buildings that are under reconstruction? That is a great question. So if I go back to here and look at my reconstruction mode, most of these have it. You are reconstruction progress. Let's go check up on it. 97%. You need a tiny bit of steel. That is what you're looking for. Okay, and we have... there is a tiny bit of steel sitting right here. Use it? Don't know why not. But do we have another construction office zone that could be helpful here? Yes, we do. There are also some materials sitting there, so... none of these groups. There you go, number 9? In group 9, number 9. Okay, doesn't matter. If you feel like you can help, you can help. Reconstruction mode, activate. Cool. Earthquake, of course, why not? In the meatpacking plant. Are you going to destroy something right away? Is this your plan? What is our wear and tear? 38%. Honestly, that's not... great, and that fire is going to do something, but it looks like the fire only really affected that one building, and the fire trucks are already here, so let's just assume that that's going to be just fine. 4.9 on the Richter scale, that's really nothing. Also 14 million, that's not great. I would like a little more of that, but that's just the way it currently crumbles. Okay. Kindergartens. Yeah, you all have kindergarten problems because reasons. Okay, so that one is not really sufficient here. Let's get you more. Alright, if I put you here, you're really covering 3/4, 2/3 of the city, which to be honest is all really neat. So we may as well make this the thing, get you a slightly better footpath connection into the rest of the city, and then someone's just going to build you, and we'll be okay. All right, get that one built, and we'll see what happens. Grain, I'm not going to concentrate on grain. You know why? Why? Because grain is such a low return on investment that it's really not worth putting any of the eggs in that basket, so that's not going to happen. But yeah, I think we are in an okay situation now. We're just out of steel, so let's get that one up and running. And this is just going to be a very simple steel production town. Nothing else. Nothing fancy. The first thing we have to figure out is where we can place it. That's always very high on the list. Metallurgy, we have at least 1,000-meter distance, and we need heat as well. We have coal in the area, so we may as well use that coal that we already have loading, or have available sitting right here and here, lots of places. Do we have a coal loading station? I thought there was a potential that I added one somewhere, but even if we didn't, that's not the end of the world, and we can always add one too, if that is what we desire, like especially in this place right here. I think we'll be okay. So yeah, let's just say I would like this steel. I'm going to build a city that can handle all of the steel production that I want, just in case you're curious. We're running out of money again, so let's click the button a couple more times. We still have 300 million sitting there. And the vehicles that we're getting from the NATO side hopefully give us a few hundred million just for a little while to make that one work. But 1,000 meters is what I want, at least from the furthest steel plant. Right here. This is perfect. The mechanical components I don't think produce that much pollution, but let's triple check. You produce 1 cloud, so effectively 350 meters away from you. If you run at 100%, should be fine. So yeah, this is fine. Let's just assume that I will put the heating plant down here. A large one, yeah. This is not Siberia. Let's make it nice and easy. If we put the large heating plant closer to here, there's no way you're gonna get the connection that you want, is there? Probably here. Okay, if you put the connection here, where the heat pipe's gonna go? That's a different problem. I wouldn't mind having you there, but I don't see a world in which we can easily get that. We're down to no money again. Great. I don't see a world where... There you go. I don't know how many monies you need, but make that many monies. Shop it out of goods. Great. Probably should have to look at that. Wait. It's you again. Oh, it's just because you overloaded? Cool. Yeah, I would like most of you to go over here. It feels like you really don't care that much to be out there. Yeah, now it's at least using this footpath over here. So that's helpful. How do I make you not go here? So there's kindergarten, that makes sense. There's the university. That makes no sense that you go there. And then culture is out there, but I really would prefer you going out on this direction. I think what you could do is just remove this footpath for a little while and add your own university into the city. That may be the easiest. Let's do that. Okay, that should take care of that part. State infrastructure, university, something small. Medical university, honestly, I don't mind that. Technical university, 30, yeah. It's the same university that the other city already has, but this one should take care of things. And we have the bus stop sitting right here that is made so that students can just wait there. There are a lot of workers waiting here. Sorry, not a lot of workers, but there are a lot of people waiting here. They can all go out to the cableway station, so that should help. And how much are we producing here? We're producing some. They're all pretty much maxed out, so I think that is all fine for the time being. And our uranium ore is at least full. Cool. Back to steel. I think I'm making a bet here, right? I am betting that if I ramp up my steel production and remove the entire import of steel for last year, 1.3 billion, and turn that into exports and turn it into some electronics and turn it into mechanical components, we are eliminating 2 billion 2 billion, that's a number, of material that we don't need anymore. So that should hopefully just help us do the things that we want to do. Okay, heating plant. I think I just decided I'm just going to plop down here. We're so close to the storages that it shouldn't cost that much problem. So we may as well put it here, and there's also already a road network sitting right there that we can integrate with The buses will not have a very easy way to get where they need to go, but this is just a worker farm, so we may as well make that count. Then I would like 1,000 meters from the heating plant, if you don't mind. Do you just want to put the heating plant on the other side of this if you're already planning on doing it this way anyways? Right there is not a terrible place. Okay, well, if that's where you want to go, that is the small heating plant though. You want the big heating plant, yes. You can probably make it work here. There's no water and no sewage. Okay, water and sewage would come from there, but I don't think you can fit this one in here. And how many people do you need? 2 steel plants full, that's 3,000 people plus some workers, so we have 4,000 people. That is above and beyond the capacity of what a small heating plant can handle, so that wouldn't work. However, right here is not a terrible place for it. Alright, you convinced me, as long as you can actually fit this thing in here. Which there is a chance. Sometimes that's all it takes. No, I don't know that I'm actually going to get this connection in here because that footpath is in the way. But yeah, that should be fine. And then we're just going to have that footpath there and this footpath here. Are you officially connected to that bus station, that train station? Yes, you are. Okay, this is where it's going to go, and we're just going to deliver the coal from there to here. Done. Cool. Easy enough. 64 million in the bank. I'm excited. With that, this one no longer is required. Cool. Go away. And we can build our city just a few hundred meters from this point. Let's do 400 meters. We can go up to here. That is the outer edge of the city. Just kind of arbitrary, but that's how far we can build. Okay. How many do you need? 4,000 people. That's what we said. Just for steel, for mechanical components in there too. Another 150, another 300 times 3, that's 900 people if I want to run them. No, not 300 times 3, 300 times 3. Okay, 3 shifts. Okay, we need 3,900 people for workers and then a little more, so let's make this a 7,000 people city. That's really just, that is some back of napkin math right there, if I've ever seen one. But all that really translates to is I want the large shopping center in the center of this city. This one can handle 7,500 people. Cool. That's where we start. Then let's build our standard road to get out of the city, which really just translates to you're going to go here. Okay. You're going to go here. There you go. Trying to keep it not super sharp. So that can get out now. Great. Next part is probably get your storage done. Get your storage down to do what you needed to do. So we want a small warehouse to store our food. Do you want to do your... Do we have a new shopping center that we can use for this that has a couple better connections? This is 45 and 405. 35 and 245. Little smaller efficiency maybe. None of those, none of these. 30 and 180. No, the large shopping center is still the non plus ultra here, but it also has 3 tons of meat. So there's a small chance that we could have the meat just come in from a different place and we may be okay. Or you can do old school. Let's go old school. What's old school, B-Well Joe? Old school is where you just use a cargo station instead of all this nonsense I just talked about, because the cargo station is totally capable of harboring 6 trucks, one of which can always be a meat truck, one of which can be a food truck, and then have a distribution office associated with it that delivers the rest. That's all you need. They will take care of all the things that you actually want. So I think that will be okay. We do want several hundred... Look at that, cars. We do want several hundred people worth transported by bus. You have a little bit of rail connection here. Is that something you would consider to get rail into there? Let's look. We have this rail. We could bypass all of this through here. Still could bypass it and then get back into this sector. To just bring people into these 2 parts. Why? Because currently we have it set up so that these 2 rails are not technically blocked. Like these guys, this distribution office is allowed to back up into the steel plants to pick up workers, but as you can see, they sometimes run into there. So the alternative here is to build a quick little bypass and break the rail setup that I already have, but it would allow you to use rail traffic to get through here. And honestly, that's probably worth it. Getting the rail cars or the trains in here to just get our passenger traffic through. What are you going to break? Think about this. You already have passenger rail here. You can bypass that. They can go right through here and join onto anywhere there. Unless you want to drop them off right here. Don't drop them off right there. This is already overloaded and can't handle any more people. So you can't drop off there. You could... there's a non-zero chance to drop off something here. You could throw in a metro. I think a bus may be still fine. I mean, how many buses do you need? But how much other traffic runs around here? And we can probably set up 2 or 3 bus lines. So the spacing is not really the biggest issue. I kind of like my odds with the bus lines if I just do 2 or 3 of them versus the bus lines. I think the bus lines have a higher capacity, period. Don't know that we need that right now. We have some money coming in. Should you spend a little bit of that money on some loans? That is not a terrible idea. Sure. Let's spend... Did we just pay back all of our loans with the cars that we just went through there? I mean, that would be pretty exciting, but I don't have to do that while you're watching me. I can totally do this while we're waiting for the city to actually get completed. We only have like 10 minutes left for the city to get completed. You're not wrong. Train is waiting too long. I think that's okay. But yeah, if you want to do buses here, you probably can. I'm trying to get this down to get this amount due tomorrow down, but I'm not sure that we really need to do that. It's like always 1,000. 1,000 per loan that I'm paying off. Very interesting. Stop it. I'll be fine. You can click all those numbers in between, and yes, you are paying off your whole 1.3 billion that you need to get rid of with the $240 million that you had in the vault. Good job. Okay, well, let's go back to this. We want to move 500 and 500 and 300 people per shift. Yeah, that's totally possible with buses. I think that's fine. We just need 3 different lines that do it, and we're going to deliver straight into the steel plants potentially. No, don't do that, because we still have other trains also delivering there. No, they're just buses. 150 people per bus is totally fine. Okay, so you just need a bus stop that can handle that. And I want this bus stop to primarily be only focused on workers and nobody else. Is 800 people enough for when we say 500, 500, and 300? That is 1,300 people, so 800 people is not going to be enough. We need something bigger, and the biggest one, or the only one that's bigger than the one that we just looked at, is this guy. I will keep you, because it's not one-way traffic, I will keep you slightly separate from the delivery route that we have sitting over here. Why? Because I don't want the delivery route and to interfere with my bus route too much if I can prevent it. So F4 to get the snapping turned off. You have a relatively good connection here. We could make this a roundabout, but I really don't see that much traffic going through here. So hopefully this will be fine. Okay, that one will be fine then. You do need an end station. Don't forget the end station this time. I know this is really early to throw them in there, but how many lines do we have? Steel mill, mechanical components. We have at least 3 lines. We may add 1 or 2 extra lines for the steel mills. So let's say we have 5 lines that we have to support here. This one has parking spots for vehicles, 4. Not big enough. This one has parking spots for vehicles, 7. It doesn't have the through run. What's this one? Parking spots for, this is 5, 6, 13. That's a road vehicle depot. That's different. Okay, good enough. End stations. Sure, yeah, we'll just take the old school large one. Put it at the end or the beginning of all of this. Can we get some power in here? We can get some power right there, but that's not really a great place. I don't think it matters that much. They can totally get to... No, do this. Do this. Put it close to the rail distribution office, like so. Then give yourself the easy in and easy out connection. There you go. So the buses should not have to block each other from doing whatever they need to do. And then life should be pretty good. So the buses can go in here, and on the way back they go to the end station. Easy enough. The end station will have fuel. Also easy enough. Great. Halfway done, aren't we? Oh, definitely not. This is not how this game works at all. So we have a shopping center. Great. What I like to do is go from left to right in all of these buildings. So we have a shopping center done. Residential I do later because that's not the core of the city. Everything should be walkable. You can do it with public transport. I've done it a lot in this season. Go back in the episodes if you want to see that. But I wouldn't stick with that. A pub for steelworkers, I don't think that should be a question. That is simply a must-have. So let's add the pub here. Make it part of the delivery route for whatever deliveries we need on this side, which also begs the question of we probably want to deploy another distribution office. This one is not very busy right now, but I don't want to trust that we will be fine. This one's also not very busy. That's one 8 station. This one is 22. We have 2 distribution offices here that have meat trucks and covered holds. I don't know that we need more. Do we have booze here? We don't have booze delivered, but that could be a thing that we just solve later on. So the booze place doesn't have to be completed, but maybe it will be. We'll see what happens. Moving on. Booze place done. Cinema. Yes, we need culture. I would say the cinema is the easiest one to do. You do not need a road connection for this one. How do I know that? Years of experience. Since mods got added to the game, it's no longer a guarantee to say the vanilla ones, if they don't have a road connection, they don't need a road connection to get, or they don't need to have a road connection. That doesn't work anymore because there's some mods in the vanilla game now that do not have that characteristic. It would help you if you add at least one extra attraction, and I heard that the towers are really good, so we may as well throw the sightseeing tower in there wherever you feel like it. This one may require a footpath access. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but right there should be fine. And now we have 2 attractions relatively close to each other. The indoor pool also works as an attraction space with sports hall versus indoor pool. I am tempted to make the sports hall our friend here and expand our center court a little bit. Sure, right there is fine. Okay, so that should take care of that again. TV station, gallery of art, we don't need any of that, and we now have sport taken care of. Great. Hospital, yes, we do need a hospital. That's probably something I would put on the outskirts of town. You do need some workers to actually make it there. But outside of that, you really just need access, and I will probably give the hospital an access road around the city once it's built, so it can just get to all the places that it wants to go. But I want to build that once we have the skyscrapers in place as well. At the same time, we do need a fire station. This one is totally sufficient, and that I like to keep close enough to be in walking range of the bus station, but not like cover more space without having to have a helicopter fire station. That's really all I'm mostly going for there. Kindergarten, add those to where your residential areas go. The school I will add right now. We're just going to do a nice and large one. You are welcome to stick right next to the sports hall, because schools and sports halls are definitely intertwined. Somehow, I can't put my finger on it, but it feels like they're related. So they will just plop in right here, and people can walk to schools. Orphanage, not going to happen. University, yes please. It really doesn't matter what university we build anymore, so small headquarters of the party maybe a sufficient size of what we need here. I can also just put a medical university next to the hospital, and yeah, just place you next to the school. Sure, also the long way. This is maybe too far away for the footpath to actually work from out there, so be careful. Well, if you extend it right here, it should be fine. Alright, so no residential buildings going on this side of town, apparently. It's not the end of the world. Should be fine. So now we have higher educated people getting all their stuff that they need to. That's great. Technical university, yes, all this is good. University halls, we don't need that unless trouble brews. And then police station, just built the large one, and we're just going to plop it right next to where the hospital is going to go, and that should take care of that. We don't need an extra courthouse, we don't need an extra prison. There's still enough in the whole republic to take care of those things. Secret police can be very helpful if you would like to use loyalty, and we do like to use loyalty, so we're going to add that to the system as well. This is probably too far away now for getting work coverage from out there, though. So I think secret police you'll probably just attach to the back of that road, and then we have a little government quarters set up and ready to go out here. So far so good. We can also use asphalt roads for moving everything around. That should extend our walking range quite a bit, so I feel pretty okay with that. City accounting office, sure, but we're gonna go with small office building. There you go, from the DLC, because we can now. Technical service office, yes, we have to worry about trash. We may as well get you part of this right now. Technical service office just down here. Then I want you to deliver to a place, and I wouldn't mind if we add an extra transport line through here. That will be our trash removal helper line thingamabob, which will be great. Okay, are you really going to do this right now? Yeah, I usually forget, so I may as well do this the right way. Let's give our let's give our technical service office a place where all trash can go most of the time, which is right here. And I'm going to connect it to the road that we have here. That should be fine. Too many nodes, too many problems. Don't do that. Make this one your main road, and this one can go in there, and then they will be happy. Fine. With that, you should also add a waste transfer station, which your technical service offices can deposit all of the trash in. I don't think that we need two necessarily, but I am a little bit curious if the technical service office will try to take too much of the waste from the industrial sector out here, and will make it a little awkward. So I'm going to add 2 waste receptacles for making that happen, and then I realize this is not the largest technical service office, so I may as well just make it the larger one. I won't regret it. So not the distribution office, I want technical service office, which will be over here. Not vehicle repair stations, probably also something I need to worry about, but this is the guy. Cool. You want to go get this road connection or get this road connection? I think they're both kind of do the same thing, so let's go do this way. TRRRR. There you go. Get your road connection down here still. Beautiful. You've done it. Great. That's the basics taken care of. We have construction offices already out here. We have a repair station down here that is allowed to repair anything that it feels like. And it should be potentially able to reach all the way out here. Otherwise, we may just have to expand that. But I think the vehicles that will work in this area should be able to get to that repair station too. So I think we're golden on that end. Yes. All right. Well, there's more city to build. So Season X, the fix will continue. Thank you so much for watching. A little more of this, and hopefully at the end of this, maybe we can retry the 20-year attempt and see if that works. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.